Hey guys, I was gonna just do episode 2 out of 10 on the 10 things that help me outside of the gym for when I'm actually inside the gym. Um, but I just wanted to do a little side video real quick because it popped up into my head and I was just feeling it today. Um, so this one's just gonna be about a name that I feel is gonna stick to me, and something that means a lot more. Um, I was thinking of like, a nickname or an alias that goes along with people. When I was younger and I was into music and stuff, we had a band called THC. It was called the High Community. Um, yeah, and I got it on my chest like an idiot because I have belief in things that I do, and I thought it was gonna continue. And I thought that three brothers, me and two other of my close friends, that we were gonna be able to make that stuff happen. But as you can tell, things tend to go out the window. But that's what it is. That's whatever. You know what I mean? So moving on past that, then when I started wanting to do music on my own and kind of start writing lyrics on my own, I thought maybe King Kush, because everybody just called me Kush anyways, because I have it tattooed on my left hand. Literally, when I was 18, I was an idiot and I got it. Not saying I regret it or anything, but hey, maybe we could have put it on a better spot. But whatever, it's a little too late. Apparently, tattoos are permanent, and I just found that out earlier today. No, I'm just kidding. But and then I was thinking, yeah, let's use King Kush, down the road when I start competing. And I was like, you know what? I don't really like that. I mean, that's cool, maybe a little, maybe it's acceptable, for hip hop and for music and stuff like that. But I wanted something new. I wanted something true to me and true to myself, and something that's really going to make people just be like, oh, wow. So I thought of this name a while back, but now it really suits me more than ever. I'll tell you a story that happened last week and this week and stuff. But so I decided to go with the name Sigma, the Stigma. So if you just add the letter T, it changes the word Sigma to Stigma. So I said Sigma, the Stigma. All right, so let's talk about those two words and what they mean to me and how it relates to me in any way, shape, or form. So Sigma, you've probably heard that before, a Sigma male, also known as the lone wolf. Most people are familiar with alphas and betas, and all the guys are like, oh, they all want to be alphas, even if they're not. And the people who are alphas, about 80% of them are just, instead of a wolf in sheep's clothing, is the exact opposite. It's somebody who probably has a good amount of cowardice in them, but they just put on this front or this big act. I know people like that. I know this dude who is a little bit bigger than me, like a little bit taller and a little bit wider and stuff, and they just walk around all the time like they're the shit, and like, they're full of themselves, and it's funny when you see those people get put in check, because then it's like, oh man, like, where's that dog in you, huh? I thought you were a real G, right? But, I'm not one to judge people. It's just funny to sit back and watch when people who do judge people end up getting exposed for who they are. So, so an alpha will always feel that need for validation from other people, whereas a sigma, I can admit that, yeah, I do look for a lot of validation, but most of the validation I look for is from myself to myself. You know what I mean? If I can validate something, like, and I found out I was getting really good at sparring now after like 6 to 8 months, and it's just the consistency. Like my coach said, just keep going in there. You know what I mean? And yeah, I was nervous at first. My first couple months, I was nervous, going in there and stuff. And I don't know, sparring is a whole new thing to learn. It's not just fighting. It's not like, oh, we're just going to go and throw heavy leather. That's not what it is. Maybe in boxing, maybe some boxing gyms, all those blockheads do that. That's why they wear headgear, and that's why they freaking don't know how to talk after 30 years, But if you want to be good about it, and you want to be smart about it and still be able to get better, then there's other options and avenues that you can visit. And always be open-minded about that. But anyways, back to this. So let's see, another one that I wrote down. Sigma males are big on like non-conformity, not going with the crowd all the time. Oh, I'll go with the crowd if it's something I agree with. And I don't care if somebody says, oh, look at him, he's following the crowd. No, I just happen to agree with a certain subject at hand. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to just get in line and be a little pet. Like, people falling in line, like, the vaccine. I'm not for or against it, you know what I mean? And everybody has their own opinion, but I'm not going to line up like a little sheep with my arm out asking you to give me something that I don't know about, nor am I going to deny it till the day I die just because I want to be a badass or a rebel or prove something, you know what I mean? So basically this comes down to thinking and making your own decisions and then acting on them on your own, and I don't think any of us are born as alphas or betas or sigmas. We may have those underlying qualities instilled upon us by the way that we're raised, and then also the whole nature versus nurture thing. Like, I went to private schools and everything like that, and my parents wanted the best for me, and I had a great upbringing and stuff. But once you hit like 15 to 17 years old, you start to get exposed to some crazy stuff, and that was that whole nature versus nurture thing. And I got exposed to an ugly world, a world full of drugs and greed and money and violence and gang activity and things like that, and so anyways, another thing is to be self-sufficient, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm a self-made millionaire and that's the only way you could be a Sigma. Just self-sufficient, like, getting tasks done on your own and learning how to do it that way, and then wanting to be able to do it on your own. Of course, it's great for us to ask for help, but those are in certain situations. We like to be independent for the most part, and we thrive off of that. A big one is Sigma males are able to adapt to certain situations no matter what may come at them. And some situations are going to take longer than others to be able to adapt to completely. But I feel like I'm good like that. Not in the sense that, oh, I'm a chameleon, I can change my skin and blend in with my environment. It's not about blending in. It's about changing and being able to handle whatever comes our way. You know what I mean? No matter how severe or no matter how minuscule, we're able to somehow do it and find that power within us and manifest it to be able to utilize it to the best of our ability. A lot of us love to be alone. Not that I like being isolated, but I do isolate a lot and have been a lot. Not that I hate people, not that I'm antisocial. I just feel like when I have alone time, I can think for myself more, and then I can act on my own more. So as much as I love company and I love humans and stuff like that, and a lot of these are just like explanations and examples of the lone wolf, of the Sigma male, and not every single one's going to line up perfectly, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of these that I feel like, I read them out loud about the alphas, and I was like, actually, I can kind of relate to that. Not the thing where you need to be like, oh, pick on people smaller than you, or pick on people who you think you can get the best of, and stuff like that to make your ego feel good and have a fake inflated ego. Nothing like that, but a lot of things like, like that hunger to really be able to thrive and everything. There's a lot of similarities to what I was trying to get at, but I didn't write them down and I didn't look at them and stuff. But there are a lot of similarities between alphas and sigmas, just as there are a lot of differences. But I would definitely lump myself in the category of Sigma over Alpha, because I'm not looking for validation through others and everything like that. Of course, it's great to have that and to have people say, hey, good work today, you did great, I'm proud of you. That feels good to anybody, it doesn't matter. But I don't need that to keep going. I can somehow in hell find that fuel within me, and I can use that at any given moment, and I'm getting better at being able to tap into that power, you know? That's enough about Sigma, okay? We're going to move to Sigma, the stigma. So here comes, that's the good part about me, you know, Sigma, like a Sigma male, a lone wolf finding his place in this world. I like that. Now here comes the ugly part of my nickname, you know, Sigma, the stigma. A stigma is usually a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person, depending on whatever it is. I'm sure you've heard the word stigma thrown around left and right if you've ever been in recovery from alcohol, from drugs, from narcotics. I mean, I guess anything like that, you know, any problem. It doesn't just have to be a substance. Like there's people in, you know, sex addicts in programs and stuff like that who it helps them to be able to talk about these things. But anybody who does something too much that it becomes a hindrance on their life, most of the time you're going to have a stigma about you, and people are going to look down on you, or they're going to think they can judge you this way, or they're going to look at you that one way that you were at your worst moment, and they're going to think that that is you every day, every waking moment of your life. They don't know the real you, dude. There's so much more to us than just, we're struggling with addiction, or there's so much more to us than, I do music, or I enjoy kickboxing, or I'm doing this or that. Those are little things in our life. We are so much more, and the sooner we all realize that and come together as one, the better. I feel like ultimately one day we will be the destruction of ourselves. I don't see this world ending anytime soon unless we are the ones who do it. We have the tools, we have the intelligence to make all this stuff, but that it might be that combined with our greed at the end of the day that will ultimately be the destruction of this whole entire planet. And I'm praying that that's never going to be the case. But look at these people threatening each other with nukes. I have better nukes than you. I could blow up half the planet. Really? I could blow up several planets. Are you stupid, dude? Is your ego and your need to be like at the top so strong, and you really need that, that you're willing to do that? You know what I mean? You're talking about killing millions and millions of innocent people. Like, you're out of your mind. You're off your rocker, dude. And those type of people should never be in power. They should never be in a power position. But it seems lately it seems that that's all the people that are in power are these nut jobs, these nut cases, these basket cases, And I hate using negative words towards people, but are they even people if they're talking about that? They're just messed up in the head, and they definitely shouldn't be out there. They should be somewhere where they can be monitored or something, But anyways, so the main stigma for me would be, the opiate addiction for 10 to 12 years, And during those 10 to 12 years, I had stints of recovery and sobriety, and it would be 8 months here, then I'd go back. 12 months here, I'd go back. 14 months here, I'd go back. And I think 14 months was like the most at a certain point, but I've been clean for almost 3 years now, coming up March 24th, so I'm about a week away or something like that. Very excited to come up on my 3 years clean. I'll let you know right off the rip. My first 8 months, I didn't smoke weed or anything, and then I found out that I'd be able to, dealing with like probation and getting in trouble and stuff like that. So then I found out that I can do that, and so I got a medical card because you don't want to just get stuff on the street in case you fail a test and then it comes up with stuff. You don't know what somebody's putting on the scale and what they put on the scale beforehand. It could have a light dusting and you could pop for something bad. And the worst part of that would be you'd be violating your probation. You could probably end up doing the time that's over your head, and all for not even getting high off of what they think that you put in your system. So just be smart when given those circumstances. So anyways, and I smoke a little bit. I used to smoke my face off when I was younger. A kid with Kush on his knuckles and the high community on his collarbone. Like, obviously I was crazy back then and I smoked a lot. But now I just conserve my bud a lot, dude. I smoke like a third of a bowl or a half of a bowl at a time. And it's a little bowl, and I still only pack half of it or a third, because if not, I feel like I'm just burning it. But anyways, enough talk of that. So I do that a little bit. And then I'm also on a medication that I take daily. And a lot of people would love to throw the stigma at me for that too. Oh, he's not really clean. Guess what? For 3 years, I haven't had one slip. Not one day where I used and hid it from anybody, you know what I mean? And that is a miracle in and of itself. So, if the medication works and you know what you're doing and you're not going to abuse it and you're not going to mix it with other things, then in combination with that and with actually working your recovery the appropriate way, you're able to maintain that abstinence, and not just abstinence, you're able to attain true recovery, because abstinence is just putting the drug or the drink down. I know a lot of people who are just dry drunks, miserable. I don't drink anymore. Fuck everybody. You look miserable. You might as well pick up the drinking off yourself, buddy. I'm so sorry I said that. I didn't mean that. But, it gets me so angry. Because a lot of us get there, but we don't get there, And it's like, dude, you need that push. You need to see it from the beginning. It's going to be a whole lifestyle change. You're going to have to change everything about you almost. All those negative things and connotations that come with it have to go right out the window. Those behaviors where you act erratically and spontaneously, you need to try to start controlling those emotions and those thoughts and those actions, because it's the emotions and those thoughts that will lead to actions, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. but that stigma will always stick with me, and I noticed it. And now I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I hope it doesn't cut me off. But basically, so like 7 to 10 days ago, I went to the doctors and had to check up stuff, make sure everything's right with my stomach, because you can get really constipated from the medication that I'm on and medications that people take. And I just wanted to make sure that, like, you know, my liver and my intestines and everything, that they weren't shutting down or anything, because it was really scary, you know. So they do just regular checkups and stuff, and he's going to refer me to somebody, a specialist. Then his assistant comes in and she takes my blood, you know, boom, puts it in here. She takes 3 vials of blood, and as she's pulling the rest of the third one, she takes it out and she's like, okay, hold that for me. And she goes to pull it out, and I don't know what happened, if when she pulled it out she went like this a little bit or something, but it honestly felt like she was like, 1 second, yeah, fucking yeah, how you like that, bitch? And I was like, oh my god, dude, like, what the hell happened? And then over the next 24 to 48 hours, my arm kept getting worse and worse. And my skin's very sensitive anyways. But anyways, so I end up going to kickboxing the next day, and then 2 days after that and everything, like I usually do. And I put a Band-Aid on because I don't want people to see it and think stuff, you know. But then the Band-Aid ends up being latex, and I'm allergic to latex. My skin's very sensitive, as I've just said, right? So then I take it off, and then now it looks even worse, because the spot where the sticky part is for the Band-Aid is just all red and irritated and dry skin now. So that looks bad. It almost looks like, you know, somebody, like people when they tie off and stuff like that. And, you know, I try not looking people in the eyes every second. Like, I could just sense it. I could sense that they saw that on my arm and that they felt weird or started to think something, you know? And I'm not that type of person who's going to go up and just say, come around, everybody. Guess what? That's not from that. What you think. It's not. 1, that's going to draw more attention to me. And 2, that's me looking for validation from other people. If that's what you're going to think, then screw you. Literally screw you. Do you know why? Because ever since I was 19 and put the first consistent amount of opiates in my body, I have never, ever picked up a needle once in my life, okay? I always put it up my nose, okay? If you must know, it was usually the right nostril, and I would sniff it, okay? I would sniff drugs when I was doing it, okay? Sometimes I even smoked it off tinfoil, you know, like chasing the dragon, hoo, right? But I'm going to be completely transparent with people right now, you know? If I was spiking, then I'd just say it. But that's the most upsetting thing, is I had people, because this lady botched my arm it's been like 10 days, 14 days, and it's just starting to go away. But all because of that shit, you know, people are going to see that and they're going to think something. Well, like, dude, screw you, legit, screw you, because guess what? I've never used a spike in my life, you know what I mean? And if I did, I would just be real, whatever, dude. And I wouldn't even be doing this 4 minutes in this video right now, going off on a rant, dude. So the thing is, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't be judgmental. Be a nice person, you know what I mean? But that stigma's always going to be with me. People are going to assume things. Also, the medication I'm on, about 94% of people who are on it because they can't stop spiking, dude. So people are going to think that, dude. I have never done that in my life, and I'm done saying it and I'm done repeating it, but I just wanted to get that out there in this. And that's that stigma that I'm talking about. Not only that, but they're probably thinking, when's he going to drop the ball, you know, when is he going to relapse, you know? And you got people preying on my downfall, wanting me to go work another dead-end job and give all my money to them and stuff. Dude, I'm done. If you have a problem with me, come see me about it, dude. That's it. You know, I'm not right in the head, dude. I am, but I'm not, you know? I'm a little crazy still, but it gets me real mad. So anyways, Sigma the Stigma. I think that nickname's gonna stick. I think it would be a great name down the road when I have my first couple bouts, when I have my first couple amateur fights. And that's about it. End of rant. I just want you guys to know that. And it does piss me off, and I do have feelings. You know, I am a human. So, anybody else who's going through that stigma or any stigma, just know you're not alone. It makes me feel bad too about myself, but I try not to let other people's opinions or thoughts get into me, because I know who I am at the end of the day. When my head hits the pillow, I know who I am, and I know that I'd made it another day clean, you know? So keep that in mind, you know, stay striving towards excellence and chasing greatness. And I'm going to talk to you guys soon in the next one. I've finally been in a better mood, and I've been able to upload semi-regularly now, just like I'm going to classes more regularly. Kickboxing, I got sparring tonight. So I hope you're all doing great. And until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. And if you ever ask lavishly, this kid's going on a rant and he says lavishly, I'm not from money. I'm not some yuppie prick, dude, okay? So when I say lavishly, if you actually go to the dictionary and you look up the second definition of the word lavish or lavishly, then you'll understand what I mean when I say this quote every time. Yo, so until next time, peace, guys. I love y'all.